Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm here with a new segment because I now have my iPhone, so I shall be being able to post videos once or twice a week, depending on how busy I am. Right now I'm actually pretty bored, so I have my Karakuri deck out. I'm going to have a segment on really the deck, how it runs, how it works, tech cards, all that stuff. So, yeah, let me get into it. 3 of Nasashi. She's basically a Bogart, 19 defense. You rarely ever set her. Mainly, if anything, you're going with her and a Cyber Dragon, or with one of these two to make Beast, 7s, or 8s. On that, you can make a Trish if you have one of these stranded, or even one of these on the field, and you just get these 3 out, you get a free Trish. Plus, if you're normal summoning this guy, you're getting a draw, or not draw search. This is the full helm. He's a 17. He runs over a lot more than you think this format. 17 isn't the biggest beat stick in the world, but, it works. This little guy right here, 500 attack, 16 defense. Whenever it's attacked, it goes to defense. 16 defense. 15 defense, my bad. 15 defense is pretty big, especially if people don't know what goes to defense, they'll take some damage. It's a searcher. You gotta run him because he's a Stratos. The Emer's Blade guy, he's really good. I have a second one over here because I don't know if I should tech one. I see a lot of people running 2. Not really sure if I should. I've only needed him really once. I don't really draw very dead with how much draw power and consistency this deck has. So far it hasn't been needed, but it's up there in the teching around for the regional. 4-star guy right here. His secondary effect no one really uses. Sometimes I take advantage of it by flipping something, and if it's got like 600 or 700 damage, or 700 to 800 attack, maybe even 1,000, I'll take the 4, gain the rest of whatever I've exploded with that turn, get it all to gain 800, and I can usually do like, an extra 1,600 damage, usually with only taking 4, so I think it's a good cost, really. This 3-star strategist, he's really broken, especially when you start off with a Cyber Dragon and a Sashi in hand. And even with those two, and you go into a merchant, you got a free 10-star, and if you're going up against agents or something, you go into this thing, and you basically win, because you discard 1 card, you hit their JDs, or all their Hyperons and stuff. But yeah, once you get him out after this 8-star, you draw a card. That's usually good, because I usually, so far, I've really drawn into Gores and Maxi actually off of that. And these 2 cards are game-breaking, which, Gores, you gotta run it. You never know when people are gonna blow up your stuff. JD's at 3. You got agents running around, 1 for winning your stuff. Like that. Maxi, you gotta run. This deck doesn't explode very much, but when it does, it's great. Maxi, you should be running in basically any deck anyway, because not only does this deck explode sometimes, that's actually chainable, since you can't chain it to this one, which makes it harder to chain Maxi against this deck. But, agents and stuff like that. You got your Cyber Dragon, big beat stick. It's a killer in the mirror match, even with not. I use this Cyber Dragon to bait out so many warnings, so many bottomlesses that people regret. It's great. Especially if they're running Karakuris, because they know if this is coming out, they either got a bottomless that, or they're getting a Chimera Tech. And that Chimera Tech is going to hurt them a lot. And then if they know if they hit one of those 2, I probably have all this set up. Or more, so, you're not really getting around that. 2 Gen X Neutron, I still don't have my other Neutron. I'll be getting it probably sometime this week. I'm going to try for it. If not, before the regional, I've got stuff to get rid of. I know I can pick one up. And 2 Thunder King. I didn't run 3 Thunder King, and because I thought that was too much for the deck. And I didn't run a 3rd Neutron because I didn't want it conflicting with my Thunder Kings too much. Plus, you've got 4 targets for 3 Neutrons and 6 Searchers. Plus you're drawing, plus you've got 2 Maxi. I thought it was too much, and I actually was drawing this girl way too much when I actually needed other stuff. And my deck just wasn't being consistent enough with the draws because my draws were so related around just this. So, I mean, I know it's really good to get that, but you don't want to spam it so much that you hurt your consistency by grabbing these so much. For spells, Tooth Smashing Ground. My other tech are the Econs. I know the guy just topped YCS Brighton with Econs mained and the Smashing Sided. I have these as possible sides because there isn't much plussing you get. Actually, there's no plussing you get off attributing these monsters. But the only good plus about Econ is it switches with attacks and defenses just like the rest of these do. So it really affects other people's. The only thing is the attributing. I like it because of these little ones. That little merchant, since they were the 500 attack, that Econ you contribute off, and it's not going to matter because what are you going to do with it anyway? If you're leaving this on the field for a turn, it's because you're not syncing with it. That's all. Or because there's nothing else you can do and you're forcibly summoning it. So, also Econ is great because if this is going to ram into something and you're going to lose because it has to ram, you can just Econ, can you Econ? Oh, it does specify opponent. I did not realize that. Either way, you can turn that thing into defense, so you're not actually losing, you're just taking damage. I guess if you want, never mind then. I guess scratch that. I wasn't too sure on that, so that's why I had to check. Then you run, the staples, Dark Hole, MSTs, Reborn, Duality. 3 was too much in this deck. Like I said, with all the searching and everything, it was conflicting with my Thunder Kings. Pot of Avarice, this deck, look how many monsters. This deck fills monsters quick. You need Pot of Avarice. I don't see how people win with this deck without it mained. Heavy, Book, and Mind Control. Then for the spells, Deep Prison, 2 Bottomless, Warnings, the Solemn Brigade, Trap Dust Shoot, and Mirror Force. I have a Torrential sitting up there. I don't know if I should run it over the D-Prison. I like the D-Prison. Like my friend says, I kind of have a D-Prison fetish, I guess, because D-Prison to me wins games. It's really hard to chain against it. It's really random, and it hurts. The Torrential, I'm not getting pluses off of like the Econ I said, so it's whatever. But right now, that's actually working very well. That random D-Prison has won me many games, especially late game. Extra deck is pretty standard. Only thing is that's another one of these. My friend just has it right now. Only difference I have in this deck is this to most people, mainly because I do draw into that Cyber Dragon, Sashi, and Merchant, and I go into this, and then I drop maybe 1 card, and I hit their whole first hand, and then I basically win because I have this on the field. I've hit their whole hand, except for spells and traps, depending on, if it's a light deck, if I know, and I'm basically winning. Side deck, 3D, 2 Leeching, 2 Chain, System Down, 2 Finish Chain, Dust and Space, Cyber Dragon, and 2 Snowman Eater. The goes in matches, the Thunder King and the 2 Decrees are stuff that I'm testing in here so far. This is okay. I'm really liking the 3D. I'm liking this. I'm liking the MST, and I'm liking this. Right now it's the Dust, the 2 Chains, and the System Down. I don't really know if they're good or not in here. I'm still fiddling around with all that, but if you guys want, if you guys have suggestions or anything, please let me know on the side deck. That's one thing I do need help on, but the rest of it, this is pretty good for me. So if you guys feel like copying this, go ahead. I really don't care. But everybody's got preference in this deck, especially this deck. It's a lot of preference, a lot of what you draw, what they draw, stuff like that. But yeah, guys. If you have anything to say, comment, rate, subscribe, please. You need any help, please PM me. Got an iPhone now, so I'll be on YouTube whenever I'm bored, and even if not, it'll do a little BB thing, and I'll know that you messaged me, and I can get back to you. And if not, you can always contact me on Facebook or phone to get any help or any advice or suggestions or ideas that you have for this deck that you would like to discuss. And with that said, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys possibly learned a little something. If not, you still have any questions, like I said, just hit me up. Alright, peace you do.